Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Napoleon and today we're back with another Enlisted Gold Order weapon suggestions, and as of right now, I'm pretty happy considering my last Gold Order weapon suggestion has actually successfully predicted some of the weapons that actually have been used in the Pacific campaign, so I'm actually pretty happy. That said, today we're going to be doing something different, and we're going back to the European front. We're going to be predicting essentially some late war Soviet AKs, and I highly suggest that these Soviet AKs be represented in one way or another as a gold order or straight outright, only as a gold order or as a premium squad in Enlisted. But that said, let's get started with today's video of the earliest Soviet AKs as gold order weapons. The first one we have is the Kharkov 44, the Tokarev AT-44, the Soviet designer Fedor Tokarev design developed beginning in October 1943, at which point Tokarev was in his 70s, an assault rifle for the same design principle of the brand new 7.62 by 41 M43 caliber. Development was conducted at Nolman of the OKB 16 Bureau in Moscow, and the rifle was completed and submitted for testing in May of 1944. The AT-44 was identically similar to the AVT-40 that preceded it. The latter simply had a select fire variant of the SVT-40 rifle that was produced in some numbers. Thus, put this political connections together, the Tokarev gained a considerable lead in the development after some other designers. The AT-44 utilized a gas regulator mounted on the indigenous unit, providing the block sights, front sights, muzzle brace, and the bayonet lug, versus the SVT-40 had a shorter receiver, smaller bolt face, relocated trigger, and a selective lever located on the rear portion of the trigger guard. The automatic fire of the AT-44 was very simple, with the position of the trigger itself determining semi-auto or full auto capability. The rifle was additionally incorporated with a folding bipod and a folding sheet and fleet, allowing use of the either hard or soft hand. With this bipod, the rifle weighed 10.5 pounds. Interestingly, the design was also incorporated trapdoors compartments of both the buttstock and the bottom of the pistol grip, the latter being a feature that wasn't popular until the 21st century. Unfortunately, the AT-44's conventional was its undoing as the rifle failed its test, and the fundamental designs were considered too poor to warrant further developments. This feeling was shared for the rifle's bigger brother, the SVT-40, which was also poorly received. That production was stopped in mid-1943. After that, we have even less known weapons. These are the corvin AK-44. The corvin's design was basically on a tilting lock of some variety and an action powered by an annular gas piston, a design that will prop up again on the Czech VZ-52 rifle. The weapon was apparently fully automatic only, and appears it's just because it was a developmental model. Interestingly, Corvin might have been the most experienced designing assault rifles, as a rifle bearing his name was also known as the American 0.351 WSL cartridge, known to be made in 1933. After that, we have an even less known rifle, and that's the Spagtag AS-44. Gregory Spagnig, designer of the famous PPSH-41, and a co-designer of the 12.7 Dushka heavy machine gun, was in development as a rifle for the trials before the end of the war. His weapon was an attempt to directly translate the PPSH design into an intermediate assault rifle, and was unsuccessful. The weapon's underlock straight below back breech resulted in a very heavy gun mass and very violent action that spoiled the weapon's controllability. After only 315 rounds fired, the SPAG assault rifle dropped from its competition. However, this design led to the mandate of all further Russian assault rifle trials might have some kind of breech locking mechanism. After that, once again, we have a slightly more known assault rifle, although it's even more awkward. The Bolkin AB-44. The Bolkin assault rifle of 1944 model participated in the first competition as an assault rifle for an intermediate cartridge of the 1943 model 7.62 by 39. The Bolkin assault rifle worked on the principle of removing gas powder from the barrel channel, a feature that this design was a rational scheme to the short locking unit, which is carried out by turning the bolt into 3 combat stops. The bolt frame, acting in the bolt levels, buried out the rotation and locked the barrel channels. It was only made possible to the success solving the problem of traversing the rifle of the sleeves, but also to find a way to unload the receiver, and then turning to solve the issue of transferring the mechanism of this One of the most important parts of this machine, from machining process to a milling machines to be more progressive stamping of sheet steel, was that the reload steering from the left side of the tide of the gas tube, unusually for domestic weapons, which can be fastened for the selector magazine top on the receiver. In connection with this, the slide and receiver was mixed to the left, which means that this thing is extremely experimental. And after that, you guessed it, we have an even less known weapon. This is the Corvin AK-45. Now, some sources put this rifle dating either at 1945 or 1946, of which by 1946 the war is over and this shouldn't be an enlisted at all. But if it's from early 1945, then we can actually use this. While the weapon appeared in photographs in a late pattern AK-47 magazine, the design suggesting that the two competing magazine patterns, the weapon used the bullpuck layout and extremely innovative at its time, and utilized the railing for the bullpuck and magazine. The latter was very significant and it has substantially reduced the weight carried for the soldier, and indeed the Czechoslovakians put out this idea of practice with the VZ-58 rifle, and the AK-45 failed every initial range test, which is even interesting. After that, we have even more unique weapons, and these I don't even have requirements, I just only have the pictures. These are going to be the Andropov Ivanov Akhmat, the Alexei Janov, the Ivanov Androvat, the Patter magazine, tilting body, and bipod Strawling suggest that this weapon was developed for trials shortly at the end or before World War I, World War II, but I don't know for certain once again, so good luck. The Alexandrovich Klashnikov Automat, and this one is even more interesting considering that the Alexandrovich Klashnikov Automat, apparently it was a development of the weapon above, so basically I'm pretty sure this weapon was in late 1946, 1947, or 1948. After that, we had the Shugonishnev Andovat, and this one was the design of a rifle referred to being involved in the early Soviet assault rifle program with, seriously, I don't know when this is, there's no date, and there's no evidence that this is an early gun. Still, it mounts a bipod, which indicates that it had been in the early stages of its work. But that said, this is all it for Soviet weapons for this week. A lot of interesting weapons, a lot of unique weapons, and a lot of weapons that I don't even know the history of because it's mostly classified. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. And if you have any other suggestions for Gold Order weapons, please comment it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Now before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I would be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.